Close your eyes and let yourself drift back to the mid-1990s. It's 1995, a quiet autumn evening in a small industrial town somewhere in Middle America. The air is crisp, carrying the faint smell of fallen leaves and distant wood smoke. You're 26 years old, living in a modest rented house on the edge of town. The walls are paneled in dark wood, the furniture secondhand, a faded plaid couch, a coffee table scarred from years of use. In the corner sits an old RCA television with rabbit ear antennas, flickering with late-night reruns of shows like Seinfeld or Friends. The VCR hums softly as you play a rented tape of Pulp Fiction for the third time this week. Your days blend into one another. You work the third shift at a local warehouse, loading boxes onto trucks for $4.25 an hour. The pay barely covers rent, gas for your 1988 Chevy Cavalier, and groceries, mostly canned beans, ramen noodles, and frozen pizzas. On your days off, you drive aimlessly, listening to the radio, Smashing Pumpkins, 1979, or Nirvana's Heart-Shaped Box, filling the car. The grunge era is fading, but its restless energy lingers in you. You feel stuck, like life is passing you by while everyone else moves forward, high school friends getting married, starting families, landing steady jobs. Nights are the hardest. You lie on the couch, staring at the ceiling fan spinning lazily, the static hum of the TV your only company. Talk shows like Jerry Springer or Ricky Lake play in the background, dramatic fights, revelations, lives exploding on screen. You envy their intensity, even if it's chaotic. Your own life feels dull, colorless. There's a quiet restlessness building inside you, a whisper asking, "Is this all there is?" You push it down, light another cigarette, and let the blue glow of the screen wash over you. Breathe in, breathe out, let the weight of those ordinary days settle around you. One cold November night, during a smoke break behind the warehouse, a coworker approaches. He's in his 40s, balding, wearing a faded trucker's cap. "Rough shift, huh?" he says, offering you a cigarette. You nod, complaining about the endless monotony. He chuckles. "I got something better than coffee. Keeps you awake, sharp." Truckers swear by it. From his pocket, he pulls a small bag of white crystalline powder. He taps a line onto the hood of his truck with a credit card. "Just a bump. Try it." You hesitate, you've heard the warnings, seen the anti-drug PSAs on TV. But curiosity wins. The first snort burns, then, the rush hits like lightning. Suddenly, everything sharpens. Colors pop, sounds crystallize, the distant hum of machinery becomes a symphony. Fatigue vanishes. You feel invincible, alive in a way you haven't in years. The rest of the shift flies by, you're productive, focused, even chatting with coworkers you usually avoid. Back home at dawn, the energy doesn't fade. You clean obsessively, scrubbing counters, reorganizing shelves, even taking apart the toaster to polish its parts. In the mirror, your eyes are wide, pupils huge, a grin plastered on your face. This is control, you think. Finally, I can get things done. Weeks turn into a pattern, weekend bumps from your coworker, small amounts. The high lasts longer, the crash is shorter. You chew gum constantly to ease the jaw ache, blame shaky hands on caffeine. Sleep becomes optional, 2 or 3 days awake, then a crash. The VCR becomes your best friend. You rewatch favorites like The Princess Bride, mouthing lines, "As you wish." Music sounds better than ever, Bush's, Glycerin, or Alanis Morissette's raw anger matching your wired state. At work, you're a star, fewer mistakes, more output. The boss notices. Rent gets paid on time. It feels functional, sustainable. The drug isn't a problem, it's a tool, a gift. Shadows in the hallway? Whispers at night? Just tiredness, you tell yourself. Denial wraps around you like a warm blanket. Breathe slowly, feel the illusion of power, let it linger. Months pass, and the gaps close. Weekly becomes daily, lines longer, sources shadier. Weight melts away, 20, 30, 40 pounds. Cheeks hollow, skin pales. Sleep deprivation brings shadows to life, footsteps in the attic, phone lines tapped. You pace at 3 a.m., measuring walls, they're closing in. The apartment falls into chaos, rotting food in the fridge, mold spreading, trash piling up. You rearrange furniture obsessively, convinced of hidden cameras. Work crumbles. Mistakes stack, focus fractures. The supervisor calls you in, you're not yourself. Here's a pamphlet, get help. You crumple it, pocket it, ignore it. Friends' calls go unanswered. Infomercials become your social life, ordering useless gadgets just to hear a human voice. Paranoia escalates, you call the cops about intruders, only for them to find nothing. Get rest, they say. You laugh it off, but inside, fear grows. Money vanishes into bags of crystal. Rent falls behind, eviction notice taped to the door. Lights cut off, then water. You move to a dealer's trailer, learning to cook, inhaling toxic fumes, nosebleeds common. Violence surrounds, debts collected with fists, screams echoing. One raid night, you flee into the streets. Homelessness hits hard. Library steps for shelter, under bridges in freezing rain. Panhandling in alleys, body deteriorating, sores from endless picking, teeth loosening, hair thinning. Hallucinations torment, rats whispering secrets, time looping endlessly. You join a small circle of the lost, preacher with his sermons, candy sharing cigarettes and stories. But losses mount, candy overdoses one night, her spot empty forever. Rock bottom, curled behind a dumpster in winter cold, body shaking, near death. Cravings scream louder than ever. Is this the end? You whisper. The drug promised everything, delivered nothing but emptiness. Breathe deep, feel the cold, let the darkness envelop you gently. Dawn breaks gray. A familiar car pulls up, your mother. She spots you, eyes filling with tears. My boy. She rushes over, wrapping you in her arms despite the filth. Sobs mix as she helps you in. The drive home is silent, radio murmuring news of Clinton's re-election, Princess Diana rumors. At home, she runs a bath, hot water stings sores, but clean clothes feel like luxury. She makes chicken noodle soup, your hand shaking on the spoon. Withdrawal crashes like a tsunami, sweat soaking sheets, vomiting endless, bones aching as if breaking. Hallucinations return, walls melting, shadows lunging. Mother stays bedside, I'm here, sweetheart. One breath at a time. She convinces you for treatment. The drive to the center, 2 hours of silence, her hand on yours. Intake, weighed at 97 pounds, severely malnourished. Searched, issued uniforms. Mother's goodbye hug, you'll beat this. I know you will. Detox is hell, buckets filled with vomit, uncontrollable shakes, cravings like knives twisting. Nights screaming, days blurred. Group therapy circle becomes lifeline. Maria shares first, pills after a car accident spiraled to heroin. Deshaun, crack stole his college scholarship dreams. Jennifer, third time in treatment, relapse her teacher. Tom mirrors you perfectly, meth for work energy, same functional lie, same fall. We're not alone, you realize. Bonds form in shared vulnerability. Counselor Patricia, glasses perched, voice steady, describe your first high. What did it promise? You dig deep, escape from exhaustion, fear of failure, feeling inadequate. It didn't fix anything, she guides. It became the problem. Those original pains? They're still there, but they're not truths. Hard doesn't mean hopeless. Guilt floods, hurting family, wasted years. Transform guilt into amends, she says. You draft letters, apologies to friends, acknowledgements to mom. Routine saves you, 7 a.m. bell, bland breakfasts, eggs, oatmeal, group sessions, counseling, walks along the fence watching birds. Evenings, donated books, Stephen King for escape, Seinfeld reruns bringing rare laughs. Cravings hit at night, call sponsor, breathe through it. Remember why you fight. Mother visits weekly, magazines, snacks. You're looking stronger. News of Y2K panic filters in, computers crashing at midnight 2000. It feels metaphorical, your own reset approaching. Months in, cravings become waves you ride, not tsunamis. Tools learned, meetings, sponsor calls, honest prayer. Group deepens, Maria's relapse story teaches resilience, Deshaun grieves lost dreams but builds new ones, Jennifer shares wisdom, relapse doesn't erase progress. Spring 1999, graduation day. 3 months clean, longest sober stretch. Certificate in hand, group hugs, mother's proud tears. Back home temporarily, you land a dishwashing job at Shoney's, honest work, hands in suds rhythmic. Nights tempt, but NA meetings anchor, hi, I'm an addict. Sponsor checks in weekly. Years unfold slowly. Y2K comes and goes, no apocalypse, just normalcy. New millennium brings upgrades, warehouse supervisor role, your own clean apartment, simple furniture, VCR clock finally set right. Reconnect with old friends over coffee, amends working, I missed you. Sorry for disappearing. Dating starts awkward but real, a girl from the library, bonding over books. Challenges linger, triggers avoided, old parking lots, loneliness waves, original fears resurfacing. Therapy continues. 1 year relapse, party invite declined, meeting attended instead. Mother's words echo, one day at a time, you're living proof. Life becomes real again, morning coffee watching sunrise, dusting off an old guitar to strum 90s tunes, genuine friendships with laughter, meaningful work mentoring others. Sleep comes naturally, dreams hopeful. Addiction leaves scars, but they're badges of survival. The story doesn't end in a trailer or dumpster, it ends in a small apartment, TV softly playing The Shawshank Redemption, themes of hope resonating. Outside, the world hums, distant traffic, refrigerator buzz. Inside, stillness, grace earned through fire. As night deepens, let this tale settle. The fluorescent 90s lights dim, neon signs flicker out, cassette tapes stop spinning. Breathe in deeply, hold, breathe out slowly. Your body heavy on the mattress, distant sounds comforting companions. You've traveled far, from parking lots to rock bottom, highs to crushing lows, darkness to this quiet light. Rest now. The world can wait. This moment, this breath, this peace, it's yours. Eyes closed gently. The 1990s are gone. You're here, safe, whole, good night.